Boys, I'm not gonna lie, if I was down to my last $50 and I was starving, first thing I'm getting is a lineup. The food can wait. But you can't compare the 0.00001% man that you're with that's above 6'5", that makes over 10 million a year, that's extremely sexy and caramel, that has unlimited status and attention, that's extremely humble as well. What makes you think with my hour that I'm gonna be cooking my own food, that I'm gonna be walking my own dog, that I'm gonna be picking up my own packages from downstairs? Why not pay somebody $50 to do that? Bro, I could go on YouTube right now and find a million videos that say like alpha male, whatever. And in my mind, I think I'm honored to be called alpha male because I've never once called myself that in my life. But I think what it is, people see like the wolf tattoo. They don't know what it means, bro.
Well, guys, it looks like we are back once again with the only alpha male on the internet that has the audacity to rock a bowl cut perm while also having some of the wettest hair I've ever seen and the driest beard I have ever seen. And with a description like that one, you already know that I'm talking about good old Vincent Fischer. And you see, our pube-headed high school dropout here has just continued to be on his typical bullshit since the last time that we covered him, and has just been going above and beyond to prove to us that he really didn't achieve his high school diploma, because this man has just been saying some stupid shit in general. And if you haven't watched my last video where we talked about him around a week ago, he was just straight up trying to flex the fact that he was the only supposed 22-year-old in the world to have a $3.5 million car, before he immediately then tried to do what I guess anyone in his position would do, and what I guess anyone who just has an extreme amount of money would decide to do for some reason, which was to instantly try to use the car to sell as many of his coaching courses as he possibly could.
Boys, I don't know if you guys are seeing the pattern, but financial inflation is absolutely fucking crazy. Like, we're in a little bit of a period now where you can still enter and kill it online, but like, I don't know how much longer that entry point in that gap is going to be there. Because I scroll 3 rows down, I see another 17-year-old flexing $150,000 a month. A motherfucker like me buying a $3.5 million hypercar. I think now is the last opportunity to get into the online game before it's just the barrier to entry is too high. But I don't know how you can see shit like this online and just decide to be normal. You're just like, yeah, yeah, but yeah, fuck that guy, he's different. Hi, boss. What the fuck? Boys, you gotta be all or nothing, right? For me, I was either gonna end up filthy fucking rich or be broke, right? There was no in between. If I had to sit behind a cubicle for 50 years, I'd myself. Now, boys, with that being said, your time is running out. You still have an entry point to the most booming industry in the world right now, which is the online coaching space. Guys, this space is creating more millionaires than any other field, than real estate, than day trading, than drop shipping. And the reason most people teach these business models is because the money is made from coaching. If you want to be our next success story, DM me the word mentor right now. I'm accepting a few very limited people that want to kill it with online coaching in 2025.
And you see, this week, he hasn't been changing jack shit, and this trend has just pretty much continued, with the man somehow managing to say even dumber shit than the last week. And he has been doing anything and everything to go ahead and continue to try and find new ways to flex on all of the haters with his new car, and has been continuing to try and use it to get people to sign on to his bullshit. And as I said, these ways are just getting goofier and goofier as we go, because we even had him going ahead and attempting to look cool by refusing to pay a parking ticket and acting like he didn't actually deserve it because apparently he pays for his spot. And it then just transitions into him going on and making sure to note the value of his car before stating that he's actually making another car sale right now because he is just a high value individual.
Yo, so boys, they left a ticket on the sign. Hating ass motherfuckers, I paid for this spot, but we're doing a business deal right now. We're picking up some cash from Brickell. Anyways. Yo, so boys, listen, if you want to live a high-ticket life where you're buying $3.5 million cars, you got to sell high-ticket goods and services. We got the man Keenan. This is diamond-wrapped Rolls-Royce. It's the same color as my girl's pink Urus, but we're going to go in right now. We got a little business deal we're doing, and this is how higher levels work. Successful people make decisions fast and are slow to change them, if ever. Unsuccessful people are super slow to make decisions, and they always change them. Let's work.
And even in this very short clip right here, you gotta love how you can already see the type of mindset this guy has, where as soon as he sees the ticket, he just assumes that it's the haters who are out to get him again, like he does with all of his online content when people disagree with him, and just assumes that it was only put there because somebody was hating. And the craziest part about this video to me is, right after he went on to post this, his very next post is him talking about how he doesn't give a fuck about the car, and it's not about material things whatsoever, which is just a downright crazy thing for him to go ahead and say in general, considering that he has spent the past 2 weeks only talking about this damn car. And he even went on to cope even further in this post by trying to say that he bought the car in order to challenge himself, and it's just some of the biggest bullshit that I think I have ever seen.
Bro, people think that it's about materialism. Bro, you know how many people were like, yo, bro, congrats on the car, how do you like it? I was like, I don't give a f about the car, bro.
Facts.
I just want a mental challenge. Not that it's a mental challenge, but like, bro, you gotta think, like, when you're printing, you get lazy a little bit. I'm like, let me buy something nice, right? And I hear a lot of people that will say, oh, well, that's a financial burden. A financial burden to you is 1 day of revenue for me.
For sure.
Right? So their doubts are a reflection of their own limitations, right? I'm just at a different bar, right? I'm putting more weight on the bar. I'm practicing progressive overload.
Absolutely.
Financially the same way I do in the gym. I'm not going to stay at 225, bro. I'm going to put more weight on it, bro, and that's how I grow, right? It's under stress.
So of course, good old Vincent Fischer here was trying to create this analogy and was just trying to get a little bit philosophical. But in reality, he was just looking like the biggest dipshit that he possibly could. Because the guy, quite literally, has had his car in almost every single one of his Instagram posts. Or at the very least, he has made damn sure that he mentioned that car in every single one of the posts, while just glazing the absolute shit out of himself. So for someone who doesn't give a shit about it, this man has just been damn obsessed with it. And this is not the only times this week that he has tried to get philosophical, because this would of course not even be a Vincent Fischer video if we didn't have him getting philosophical in the good old Instagram stories, where he tries to drop some of the realest logic that he possibly can, but instead just ends up looking like a complete dumbass and not making any sense. And we had quite a few good stories this week, with one of the first ones being the fact that if he was sitting there and only had $50, he apparently would spend it on getting a haircut instead, since most people's problem is that they don't look like money, and that's why they don't make money in his mind.
Boys, I'm not gonna lie, if I was down to my last $50 and I was starving, first thing I'm getting is a lineup. The food can wait, right? It's very hard to die or go broke if you look like money. Might just seduce somebody, get a goddamn meal, you know what I'm saying? Might just, go into fries, wink at the goddamn waitress. Hey, on the house. Listen, guys, a lot of you guys are broke because you don't want to look like money, right? Oh, I'm going to get a haircut at this place because it's 20 instead of paying 100. But that $80 difference could have made you an extra 10,000 a month if you just looked like money.
Alright, motherfucker, you better not ever wink at me with that seductive ass look again. This shit is just some straight up crazy work right here. It is genuinely insane how much this goober is feeling himself right now when he really walked into the barber and asked him to give him the broccoli top cut. So yeah, if looking like money means I need to go ahead and cover my head and pubes and look like whatever the hell you did to your head right here, then I think I'm gonna have to pass, man. And this is just some of the dumbest shit that I think I've ever heard, and I am not surprised at all that I of course heard it from this complete jackass right here, where he has somehow convinced himself that the more you pay for a haircut and the more you get ripped off by your barber just means the more money you're gonna end up making. And this was of course just the beginning of the Instagram stories, because he then followed it up by doing some of the hardest self-glazing that I've seen in a hot minute, where he proceeded to rant about how his girlfriend can't compare him to the average person because he's just in the top 1%.
Yo, so boys, a little bit off topic, but I was getting ready this morning and my girl was like, I wish I was a man. It's so easy because all you have to do is work and make money. I was like, life is only easy as a man if you do the hard work and suffering and become important. But you can't compare the 0.00001% man that you're with that's above 6'5", that makes over 10 million a year, that's extremely sexy and caramel, that has unlimited status and attention, that's extremely humble as well. You can't compare that to the Uber Eats driver that delivers our food. Right? That's completely different. We got here from two different paths to the same exact penthouse. The last 5 years of my life, I was grinding in the shadows, building my physique, force feeding until I was going to puke for 5 years straight, building my status, repeatedly posting, becoming important, investing everything I had multiple times, almost going broke. And you just had to look pretty.
And nothing just screams humble like stating that you're humble after you just got done verbally sucking your own cock. Because that's pretty much what he did. The man sat there and listed as many good attributes about himself as he possibly could while putting the other person down, and then just continued to try and elevate himself further. And this was just the beginning of the self-glazing, because he then decided to hop up in the whip and continue to do so, and ended up going on a rant where he doubled down about how he can't do menial tasks like just grabbing a package from downstairs or walking his dog again.
Boys, I need you guys to understand, if you are a business owner, the most expensive thing that you could do is not delegate your tasks and free your time. Let me explain. Where I'm at with my business right now, we make just under $1 million a month, and I have anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 a month in expenses, right? If we were to take that number, $300,000, and divide it by 30 days, it's like $10,000 a day. Let's divide that by 12 waking hours. We'll just average it out to $1,000 an hour. What makes you think with my hour that I'm going to be cooking my own food, that I'm going to be walking my own dog, that I'm going to be picking up my own packages from downstairs? Why not pay somebody $50 to do that? So when I made a video about delegation, people are like, oh, you're an asshole, you don't walk your dog. What's better than me not walking my dog is my dog not starving and dying, right? Because I have big problems to handle and they require my full focus and attention.
And we of course yet again had some of the craziest flexing that I think I have ever seen, where this goober's time is apparently just so valuable and he is just too rich to be able to, yet again take his dog for a walk, or to even grab a package from downstairs. Like, that is a task that takes about 5 seconds. It is actually not that deep. Like, there is no reason to be trying to flex about these things. And the whole dog thing is of course his response to the segment in my last video where we talked about how he tried to flex this last week and just claimed that he made too much money to be walking his dog.
Like, that's the level of money you get to where you're making so much cash that your human hours are worth too much for little tasks. Like, I'm a big advisor of when you start making money, bro, remove yourself from every repetitive task. I don't drive anymore if I don't want to. I don't walk my dog if I don't want to. I don't cook my own food. I don't make my own coffee. I don't really do anything.
And this just has to be one of the dumbest fake flexes that I've seen from any of these alpha males, somehow followed up by an even more stupid response. Like, at this point, I don't even think that he believes his own bullshit, because this is just some incredible work. And after this, he then proceeded to continue to post his regular Instagram stories, where he sat there and argued with haters about his new car being rented, and then continued to sit there and try to basically promote and beg people to try and sign up for his stupid ass courses after he sat there and flexed all week long, which I don't know why he's even doing that. If he is apparently too rich to be out here getting his own packages, cooking his own food, or walking his dog. Like, if all of those are the case, which he is constantly claiming, then I don't know why he needs to try and sell these courses so damn hard.
So why do you have so many haters saying you're renting your car as cope, right? When I bought any car, people were saying rental. When I bought my first i8, they said rental. When I bought my first Lambo, they said rental. My first SVJ. No dealership in the fucking world is gonna let you rent a car that has 250 miles on the dash. They'd lose more money. Because the $3.5 million car with 250 miles, if they were to rent that to me and I were to drive it thousands of miles, they'd probably lose close to $1 million at least off of the value, because it's no longer in the newer territory, right? So people are just delusional, and it's how they cope, right? When they see something online that they feel like they can't have, it looks like a big fuck you. So like the instant reaction is like, oh, rental. I know this because I was a D1 hater. I know my haters more than they know themselves. I used to see somebody with nice shit online. I'd be like, man, fuck that guy. He's fucking people over, but it's cope, bro. It's cope.
Yo, what's going on, boys? Been super slammed the last 3 days. Been grinding, setting up the systems to build this thing to millions a month. But as you guys can see up above, we have another $100,000 a month testimonial inside the Six Figure Fitness community from my man Felipe himself. Now, guys, I can't even count how many people we got to over $100,000 a month this year alone. But I'll name a few off top. We've had Flynn, who went from a 17-year-old high school dropout to making over $100,000 a month this year. We had Johan, who went from a homeless combat veteran to making over $100,000 a month this year. We've had Ulysses, who went from working 3 jobs to making over $100,000 a month, and Solomon, who made just under $100,000 a month, 3 months inside the community, now Felipe. But boys, I need you to understand these people are no different than you. Everyday gym people in their early 20s, they found an opportunity, had the balls to go all in, find the right system, the right mentor, and now they're printing. And if you want to do the exact same thing, DM me the word mentor right now. I'm taking a few more people for one-on-one mentorship. If that's you, shoot me the word and we'll get to work. Let's get it.
And the only person who is coping at this point is, of course, good old Vincent, because I find it pretty interesting that he's saying all of this random bullshit and constantly flexing, but then turns around and sells these courses like his life depends on it. And I don't know if he rents his cars or not, or what the deal is with that, but the fact that he is always trying to push these courses really makes it suspicious. And I think there is one thing that is for certain, and that is the fact that this man says some of the dumbest shit in the entire AMU. I actually don't think I have heard dumber shit come out of anyone else's mouth than with the shit that I heard him say this week. But with that said, I think that is enough of this complete goober for one day, and I just had to cover it because this man has just been on one. But if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like. And I'm out. Watching Vincent Fischer continue to just say dumb shit on a weekly basis. And peace.
I love what you said about, I don't think that, you think that. Bro, I could go on YouTube right now and find a million videos that say like alpha male, whatever. And in my mind, I think I'm honored to be called alpha male because I've never once called myself that in my life. But I think what it is, people see like the wolf tattoo. They don't know what it means, bro. It means loyalty. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I have one woman. I've had the same exact team for 2-3 years. You know, I keep my word. Everything I told my family I do, I did. And that's what that means, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I have a Marcus Aurelius tattoo too. I don't have skulls and flames and dumb shit, right? Like, bro, the Marcus Aurelius, it taught me a lot about mindset, life. Bro, it saved me when my dad passed, bro. You know what I mean? Just understanding you can't control outside events. You can only control your mind, bro. And, you know, it's funny how people will put their own spin on things, right? Like,